Norman died. Well, that's right too.
Where were y'all living when he died?
Up on Miss Darren's, had been living on Miss Darren's place.
That's where y'all lived when, not when she was born.
You sure showing our wrinkles there, Miss Darren's place. Well, I don't know which one it was.
Okay,
But
here we
y'all
go.
came and got, Uncle Paul them came
Oh,
and got
this is
Mother in
the next
39
one,
when
yeah.
Uncle Norman died, and but Marty was already born then. She come to Mexico and brought you back here for her to be born.
Oh, that was
We're starting right now?
Mm-hmm.
narrator. Start.
What is this, Martha?
Bill Harris, 1924, December the 24th, on their wedding day. And the picture was taken at the home of Tim and Benny McKinney in Andrews, Texas. Mother, was it winter time? Yes, it was. She has her coat on.
December
December
24th.
No snow on the ground. Look at those shoes.
Look at Daddy's pants, high waters.
Not a drop on the ground. Yeah, well, that is right after when there.
But that's a handsome
Free and y'all was going to Colorado and you stopped and asked Daddy.
Here, Joe, is another one that was making bread. Is that you?
Chavis.
Chavis. You was making bread?
Yeah.
Travis Harris. Is that you sitting down in front of it there, or?
Oh, yeah.
The dog.
And
I'm going to take it.
Oh. That's a good looking chuck wagon. Look at all of those cars. That looks just like the one that we saw at the museum.
Church spot.
Chuck ball.
All right.
okay,
That's when you were trapping, right?
Yep.
That's some you catch.
okay. What kind of man?
I don't know what to tell.
What was it? It's on the back.
He just called it.
Kamada?
Camada, New Mexico. Called the Bobcat in Camada, New Mexico. The trap.
Who's that, Daddy? Is that you?
Me.
There's Bill Harris. Caught that bobcat. That's the
No,
thing.
it's
That's
cold.
the coat
That's
there.
the cow. Like
And then there's the picture, there's his dog with him. And
Old
that dog was
Red.
quite a, old red, huh? Quite a trapper.
he's a, what'd you say, he trailed cow?
A lot of snow, wasn't it? That's what, about 1910?
1918.
1918, that's right.
The snow that year, huh?
Big snow.
Oh, look at that. There's the dog.
I'm starting out on the trap line there. Dog isn't sit down. Stand up.
Who is it?
It's Alfred and Sam. I mean, Alfred and
Yeah, it's well.
Sam
Which one was
at the
which?
camp.
Alfred's on the left.
Yeah.
Sam Harris is on the right.
That was at the camp when they had skinned their coats and put them up to dry.
All right.
Are y'all fixing to leave?
Joe, you might want to do a pause.
Let's go.
Who is that, Daddy?
Jackson.
Chavis?
I mean, Chavis.
And who else? Who's
Mississippi. Brady.
What year was that? Would you say?
About the same year.
What year?
They live in an adobe house. That dugout or part
They're
dugout.
building the house there.
Building it?
Rock house.
Looks like it's made out of adobe.
Yes, it is. It was one of them.
riding the motorcycle?
This Travis.
That's Travis there, and the one over there by the car is Daddy.
Bill Harris.
Well, you wore a white hat. Were you one of the good guys?
Yep.
Aren't they dressed up?
Aren't they?
Every picture, all these hairs
What
are
were you
dressed up.
doing?
Every picture, except
What
for
were you
Floyd,
gonna
when
do?
he's in one of these bulls.
What were
He's
you
got his
gonna
old
do?
coveralls on.
Weren't you on your way to a dance?
Dress up and hug a bull.
He was hugging that bull, wasn't he?
That's fine.
On your way to a dance. Where would you say that was taken?
Iron Magazine Kamada.
Kamada? Who's this? Okay.
Let's see, that's Mr. Sutton, Willie Harris, and Nathan Harris.
Daddy was named after Willie Harris.
Uh-huh. That's his name. That's a Harris family.
But Daddy is in there. It's written on the back of it.
There's Sam with his arms crossed, and Lydia Harris is in there. Uh-huh. Lydia Luke Harris, and that's Floyd Harris in the overalls in front.
Floyd.
Who was that little fella behind in the
I think,
blonde hair on the other side?
Only's,
I think that's
son.
ours, Rita, with that county.
Okay.
And we don't know who the big lady is?
Okay.
Here's a Floyd coming.
Floyd and who?
Floyd Harris
Billy.
and Billy the Bull.
Lily the bull.
Dilly out there.
Aunt Lily, they're talking about you in here.
Well,
Billy the Bull, we said.
I think that's her.
Okay, that's a bunch of Harrises.
Just a bunch of and there.
Harrises and neighbors.
Where was this?
What?
Yeah, where
Down there, Little Big Springs.
below the
South of Big Springs. That's where you lived when you didn't like what that man did down there. He made you work from sun up till sundown. Then afternoon.
That's down on Country.
Oh,
This is 1912.
1912. Are we recording now?
yes. And the sound.
That
Now,
looks like somebody's hair. Yeah.
whoa, you're gonna have to turn it, I think. Anybody know who these people are?
Uh-huh. The tall guy on the end is Fred Harris.
Still on picture.
All right.
Fred and Kate and Lois and Sam. Oni. I don't think Oni's not in that one. That's just Kate and Lois and Sam and Fred and Haney and Floyd. But Oni's not in that one.
Okay.
Only in St. Folks.
Or that's Lois
Yeah.
taking.
That's for
Now, who was this again?
From left is Kate, Amy, and Lissy, and Oni, and Fred, and Lois is in the front there with the, and Oni, 2 children. All of them. Yeah.
Pretty blurred.
Haney looks different there, doesn't
Yes.
Where's Floyd?
he? He's not there. Floyd's not there.
Lord used to wouldn't have his picture. Bull, they said first picture.
He was there in overalls. Left time belly stuff.
That's, finished 5 first children, one Ivy, George at Agnes, Jill at Hill.
I'm taking this out of the frame. You want me to sit that way? Okay, who's this gonna be?
Just another, like it.
Harris and their
Harris.
neighbors?
And they're just together.
Neighbors.
And you think Bill Harris is on the fence in the big hat? Maybe. Joe, it's pretty shadowy.
Yeah, well, here comes the dancers, Paul. Tell us about these guys now.
What was
Was
it?
that the Vince dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dancing on the carnival was coming from out of New Mexico.
Was it a rodeo? You said before rodeo or a carnival?
Yeah, I think it was carnival.
Oh,
Yeah, they did have a rodeo there, it was carnival.
they did
Come on.
entertainment. Are you getting mixed up with what you've already done? What's this gonna be? Ah,
Chuck McKinney and Manny McKinney and Warner McKinney.
did Minnie McKinney have a middle name? Or it says
Oh,
Ola?
Minneola.
Minnie Ola McKinney.
And that was made in 1920, about 1924 in Andrews, or 25.
well, that might have been,
Because they didn't move down there, they moved to that place in 1924 from town. When they moved to Andrews in 1923, they moved out on the southeast of Andrews in 1924.
Now who is this?
That's Lydia Cook Harris, grandmother.
no, that's Oni.
Oh, that's on, well, if she's right there at that same place.
Yeah, but we don't
then I
have that
just
picture.
automatic, oh, I thought you had that picture. I
No,
thought
it's in here.
It's in the book.
Yeah.
That's Oni Harris, okay.
Looks like yours.
Well, I know that it's the same horse
Yeah.
and the same, I didn't know you had that one. Is she standing in the trough?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you have to get in the trough to get on the horse, I would.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big step. Okay.
That's Vera and Harris and Jules Gibson.
Where was that?
That was taken in Andrews.
Taking their old home
At
place.
the Minnie McKinney home in Andrews.
What kind of car was that? Model 18. Model
That's
8.
Alvin Williams' Ford.
Model 8.
Model 10.
Model T Ford.
All right, where's those pictures you want me to take in?
1924.
Oh, there's Lydia. And then on the other page, Alpha Harris.
Okay.
So your mother has those pictures in there.
Come here. It's okay.
You got it?
Look at it.
Oh, that's good. That's Lydia Cook Harris.
The daddy's mother.
Grandmother Harris. And I forgot what year that was taken.
It might say
1912.
And when she passed away, 23, she passed away.
Did anybody on there?
saying on the next page is Alpha.
Or it could have been January 23, y'all married December 24. So.
Well, that's when they didn't have kids.
No, that picture's down there. It's 1912,
Okay, that's Alfred Harris.
That's Daddy's.
He's the one that likes to travel a lot. Can you tell us again about traveling in the covered wagon? Since we used to found before.
All right. Next.
When did you leave your family, your parents? How old were you then? You know, and get out on your own.
Lay out for good.
This was Tim McKinney and his mules and some neighbors.
Oh, 16.
1916. And you were what, how old?
16 or 18.
Well, see, 16, you was born in
18,
96, so you must have been 20 years old.
I know I was going to file when I got out of Mexico. I had to be 21 to file.
File for land?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I filed. Didn't file because I wasn't known.
All right. Okay, Paul. This is a pretty big one here.
Pretty big one?
Big Neva. This is Thurston
Never should have
McKinney.
worn my class.
Thurston McKinney.
Vera McKinney's father.
And that was taken, that picture must have been taken in Oklahoma because we looked at the black jack oaks behind it.
Focus, can you?
I believe he
No,
looks
it's not
like
Steve.
Steve. He
It's
did
not Steve. That's black jack oak.
Okay.
Sure he does.
That must have been taken down there now.
I believe that.
He buys 3/4 ton.
Oh, we're getting I thought that was your picture, so I picked it up. I didn't mean to give you that one yet.
He never did put that next to get started. Come on.
Okay.
This is a good picture.
Gordon McKinney, Lenny McKinney, Thurston McKinney. That,
Okay, it's just kind of close.
You know,
Who's that,
grandmother,
Paul?
Minnie McKinney.
that's Minnie McKinney. Doesn't she look good there?
Yes. Very pretty lady. Who's Minnie?
Grandmother.
Your great-grandmother.
And that's,
Agnes and Ivy.
That's Thurston Holding.
Yeah.
Who's he holding?
He's holding Jules. And that's me standing there in front.
right there.
Miss Vera.
That's
Pretty
her.
heady. Pretty hair.
It's Ivy and
Yeah, you have curly hair. And when? Let's see.
that's probably about 19 and 8, isn't it?
No, 9. That's about 19 now. Well, that's living out there. Of course, and Jules is not a year old, I don't guess there, but you don't look like him.
Come on, Mark. Are we still playing? Yeah.
That was your mother, wasn't it? She was pretty. Pretty lady. Okay. You're sure getting us out of order.
Well, I know, but I don't know what order we're looking for.
Okay, Paul, tell us again about where all you, about where your parents were and where they, you know, where you, like you did, where everybody started out and everything. Okay?
We were born in Stonewall. Tell about the one that was already born when you left there.
How many was it?
4, wasn't it?
Four of them older than me was born in Stonewall County. I was born in Stonewall County, then Sam, my brother Sam, was born in Stonewall County, and he born in 1898. Then we began to move in covered wagons. We went to Mexico in 1900. So I was born out there in 1900. And then we left there, Dad sold out there, and went to Colorado State, worked at the beef, on the beef farm.
In the beet or beef?
Beets, make sugar out of it.
Sugar beet.
Yeah. And we left there and come back up here in Moore County, above Amarillo, and in 1903, Haney was born. And then Dad sold out there and come down here below Midland and bought a section of land down there, and that's where Floyd was born. And then he sold out there and went up to the county and bought some land down there. And then we went to Grand Falls out there and picked cotton. And then on out to Reeves County, I believe it is, where Missy was born. Then he sold out there and went back north of Lamesa over here, bought some land. And then he sold out there and went down in Sterling County. And that's where Lois was born, in 1910.
She was the last one, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was the last one. Then we left, he sold out there and we went back to, that's when we come to Shaft Lake in 1914 after we left there.
1914. You came to Shafter Lake. What was in Shafter Lake?
What is in it?
I mean, you know, what was
What drew
there
you
a
there?
town there? Why did you go to Shafter Lake instead
Well, that's
of?
where the school was. That's where the biggest town was in Andrews County. Andrews here wasn't not two Andrews here. It was all up there at Shaft Lake. And the kids went to school there for a year. Then they moved on up to Seminole and bought a place up there at Seminole. And then he sold that out and went to Mexico and bought a place. And then he sold that out and went back to Kittiquay, Texas and bought a place. Then he traded that place for a place up there in the state of Colorado.
In Colorado.
Yeah, that's when my mother died up there.
Do the Harrises still own that, or did they sell out?
No,
or-
they sold the kids, some of the kids sold it afterwards.
Developed the name of Newport.
Daddy paid the taxes on it while we lived in New Mexico, and then we checked on it back after Lee and I married, and went up there and found out they had sold it.
I think when Oni sold it, she kept some of that bill right. I don't know whether they ever got in all that time now.
Well, we probably ought to check on it one of these days.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, Ma, and you got, this is what time now? We're around, say, 1914, 1915, around in there?
When did
you
his
said
mother
it-
die?
You know,
23, she died in 23.
1923, and that's the year that y'all got married?
24.
24.
She died in November 23 on Thanksgiving Day, and we married on December the 24th.
What she died of? What she died of?
She had a stroke.
Had a stroke.
Thanksgiving.
What did, your dad had cancer, right? How old was he when he died?
She I don't remember.
He died in 49.
No.
I'm his grandpa. Yeah. He died in 49, August of 49.
No.
Yes.
No. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about my dad.
No,
My dad
her
died
dad.
at 38.
Okay, Ma, what about, where did you start out at? How did your paths cross?
You were born in Oklahoma, right?
Yes, I was born in Oklahoma
Where?
and Pushmahawtaw County.
Can you spell that?
No.
What's your Mahawk?
Yeah, and we stayed there, and then Daddy bought a place closer to Shelby, Oklahoma. That's a little old town. And when we moved out to a sawmill, after he sold that out, we moved to a sawmill. I don't know how long it was, but anyhow, we stayed there a while, and then we moved there to Clayton, Oklahoma. And we stayed there, I don't remember how many years, and then
What did your father do? What was,
he was farmer.
he was farmer?
Well, not then, because he done quit raising me while he was done. He raised mules while I was there in Oklahoma. But, cattle. But, when we moved there in Clayton, we were just a farmer. And, then, we moved to Westbrook, Texas. Stayed down there for about 2 or 3 years. And, then in, 23, well, we came to Andrews.
In 23?
In 1923.
And Daddy came to Andrews in about 1923.
23, I come in spring and they come in the fall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we come out.
But what did you come to Andrews for? What?
Me?
We
Mother.
bought a place out here. That's when
Okay, you bought a place then.
Yeah, Daddy bought a place and, we thought we was moving to the end of the world.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
How much did he buy it? Where was it at?
Down there at the old home place.
Right, that's where,
Southeast
Pete Hooper lives right now, isn't it?
And,
So how did y'all meet?
well, we used to play, Shafter Lake and Andrews, people gathered around, we played ball.
What kind?
They played
Baseball.
baseball. And that's where we got.
Were you a baseball player, Daddy?
Well, played some there.
Did you?
Yeah, they had those 3.
Andrews and Sheffield Lake played it just one another.
Uh-huh.
Who won you?
All first one another.
But after Mother
Were
and
you a
Daddy died,
cheerleader?
his daddy lived over in Tarzan for a while too.
Were you a cheerleader?
He lived.
I was there just to, we used to go anywhere to just get to be
He
all
was
over
there just
the
like me, I believe, went there to see the boys.
That's
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's the ball.
And you got a good one when you did, apparently.
Anyhow, well,
So y'all were introduced by somebody, or you just
No.
started
Oh, we
talking?
did. you didn't have to be introduced those days, you just went talking and was singing.
Just like it is nowadays.
Oh, I thought maybe your brothers knew or something.
Anyhow, well, we went to,
Did you say, whoo, who's that good looking guy on
Third
third
base.
base?
Did you say that?
I don't remember where he played it.
Do you know, Daddy, what you played? Did y'all have gloves of any kind, or did you just catch the ball? Did you?
Yeah, sometimes.
I know I was standing on the base one time and a great big old boy come along, stepped out on my foot.
Oh.
He's on the other side, see. I didn't know his name, but I forgot his name. Great big old boy. He just stepped right on
Wasn't
my
8
foot.
miles. He was one of those rounders out of Shafter Lake about that time.
Was Floyd and them with you at this
Yeah,
time?
they were.
Floyd?
Yeah, I went to Haiti for it just the day.
Yeah.
You did.
That was about 26, wasn't it?
After you married?
I mean, when we playing ball.
Oh, 26, well, that was, well, we married in 24. I
Playing
think,
at 26, wasn't it?
you was playing before that, because,
Yeah.
you was playing in the 23, and,
See, Daddy was living out there before he and Mother married on the place where the Fisher Ranch is now.
Yeah. You were, what were
And
you
he
doing?
was grubbing those fields.
Oh,
He grubbed out, he and Haney grubbed out those fields out there that Daddy plowed all those years.
Uh-huh.
And Floyd, they were grubbing out there when,
Yeah.
There weren't many mesquites when you first came to this country, were there?
I think y'all never saw me like that.
The same number of mesquites?
I don't know about the same number. It's hard around to find a load of wood, I know.
Yeah.
They were just new, I guess, and hadn't any of them died.
Oh, a few of them.
Few of them died.
Yeah, around in holes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's move on then to start. Once y'all got married, where did you go?
we lived on,
Greg,
Greg Place, on the Fisher Ranch. We lived there under, then we moved over on the shared place, and,
Tell us where the kids were born.
well, LaRue was born while we were living on the Greg Place. All born on the shared place. And, well, I guess Martha was,
Bernice was born at, you were in Colorado and you moved, come down to grandmother's when she was born. And I was born at the John Underwood place.
Yeah.
Rosie?
Rosie was born,
Walter Mathis place.
yeah, lived in Travis place. And then,
Jay was born,
In New Mexico, right?
supposed to be here in Texas.
A lot of Texas.
Yeah. Come out of Texas.
Come out of Mexico, Andrew, Texas.
and,
Margaret was born at grandmother's,
no,
or Aunt Lily's.
Aunt Lily's, but she was living
Living
on
on
the
the
dairy
dairy
place. And, Geneva was in Florida, she was born in the hospital.
Yeah. Doris.
Oh, yeah, Doris. Now, she was born in grandmother's.
That's your mother.
And you and Geneva both were born in the hospital
And
every Friday night.
Yes.
was I born on a Friday?
Hutch says you were, and he said Nona was too, because every Friday night, just as their ball game was going on, Mother had a kid. Every Friday night during football season.
He still fusses at me about
Every
it.
time he sees Mother in the hall, that's what he says.
I keep saying it was you. Not me, her.
That's what he tells.
Yeah. See, it's easy.
And from when we moved from back from Colorado, we was living on
What are you talking about?
well, we went to Colorado when
We left the sheriff's place,
left Sheriff place.
1926,
And
early part of 27.
Before Jay was born, they went to New Mexico and
drove the cattle.
drove cattle, and you have that picture there.
All right, let's look at some more pictures then.
Where it's
of
the picture of all of us taking them to New Mexico.
Daddy, you want to
Yeah,
No,
and 5 daughters, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm not sure. You're
Paul, do you want to get up for a little while
no,
and sit in a different chair or something?
no, that's
There's a car.
I don't know, but
We had it, I had it for a while. That's it. That's when we was
Okay.
going to Mexico.
Now,
All
these is when we was living on the
Yeah, this is when we lived out there.
No, this is,
In New Mexico.
oh, yeah, this
Who is
was,
that?
and this
On
was
the,
too.
on the river.
Travis and Bill.
And that's,
That's the
Okay.
same place.
You might stick it in there.
That one too.
yeah.
Okay,
And that was John.
here's one of Paul and
Travis.
Chavis here. Supposed to be around 19 something, 1919.
What?
Which one are you, Paul?
Which one?
The
Which
one
picture
facing
you
us
got?
a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. With the plaid breeches.
Yeah.
The one with the tie on, the dark tie is up at Travis.
That one right there.
There's
Uh-huh.
Paul.
You can tell it's on Travis. I can't tell it's Paul.
Oh, you think? I
Right.
can.
And this is when y'all left and went to Mexico here, I think. I'm gonna probably have to get a
Uh-huh.
little more
That's
light
on our
on
way to
this.
Mexico. We're moving to New Mexico. There.
That's why he married Message all the time, because he looked like one.
Vera and Bill and Martha and Rosie and Viola and LaRue and Bernice.
And everything you owned was in that vehicle,
How long
right?
did it take you to get from one place to the
Well,
other?
we were driving cows kind of by foot, going along with that, weren't we?
Not with that.
We were.
No, we,
We'd already gone out and camped on the ground driving the
yeah,
cows.
and Lily and Floyd and George and them was taking care of the cattle.
This was
out there.
1934
Oh, this
or
is
5, because I was 4 or 5 years old.
Let's see.
Okay.
Any order on these?
No, just,
Okay.
Took a long time.
Okay.
Little fun in that day.
Driving them by foot.
okay, tell me what these were. This looks like the whole herd here.
No, it isn't the whole herd.
Heard.
The
Oh.
most important one wasn't there yet. To you, anyway.
Okay, that's why we lived in New Mexico, and we lived on the
I'm not there
river,
either.
the Rio Grande River. And there was a bunch of cousins there too, with that. And it's LaRue and Viola, and I think Jay's in the front there. And
No, I wasn't
you
that
wa-
old.
Yeah,
that
that's
little
you.
bitty kid in front,
No.
that's not you there?
Well, anyhow, anyhow,
We lived on the, that is taken at San Antonio, New Mexico,
and
on the Rio Grande River.
we built our house ourselves.
We lived under a cottonwood tree while we were building that house before we got it built, and we had tarps stretched out over the bed. And that's a washing machine that Daddy made. And out of a barrel, and you would you stand there and go back and forth dashing the clothes to clean them. And we had a fire in under it to keep the water boiling.
And who all's there?
That's Bernice, and I think I'm putting the wood in the fire, and Mother, and LaRue with Jay on the blanket there.
Okay,
And
what?
Viola is over the tub washing the dirty diapers.
Okay. What did you tell me before about a snake or something at one time, Mother? A snake was around there when y'all were doing laundry? Do you remember saying something about that? Okay.
I might have one, but that was down there on the Ronald farm.
Uh-huh. What
Yeah.
happened?
Well, Jay was out planting, and we had some old flowers around the house.
Uh-huh.
And he went in the house and told the girls that there's a snake out there. Well, they came out and told me, and I didn't believe it. I said, well, I'm right here watching. I said, "It's a snake over there." And they said, it is too. And went over there, and sure enough, there's a rattlesnake over
Oh,
there.
anyway.
And I got rid of the flowers and the snake.
Oh, one swipe. All at one swipe.
No, I asked the one folks that were living on the place before we moved if it'd be all right for me to pull them up on the town of the snake.
Yeah.
And they said it would.
There's some
Well, that was out in Mexico, and that was when Jay was a baby.
See, that was Jay Walker.
And that was, Rosemary.
And the cow skins hanging up there.
Uh-huh.
So Daddy was trapping at that time.
Yes.
What did you
He
tell me?
went off into every winter and trapped out in the mountains.
Uh-huh.
We stayed there.
What did you tell me before you slept in teepees? Did you tell me that? And you slept on the ground, and even though there was snow all around, it was warm.
When we built this house there where Daddy was, and we slept on the cottonwood tree, the neighbors came after us one morning because we couldn't get up. The snow was up to the beds, and we had these old iron beds, and the tarp was up over them, and the snow had come in and covered us and all, and they came down because we couldn't start a fire and eat breakfast, and we didn't have a house, so we was living in that, just living outside. And they came down and picked us up and took us up to their house and
That's
fed us.
He was over there picking up, supposed to been, he was picking up pinions.
Pinions?
Peniel.
And he came,
Oh.
he came in and we got busy then and built us a house.
Because the snow was so deep there, but the neighbors came down in a wagon and got all of us kids and Mother and took us up there.
Was this the same time that you had the month?
No,
Okay.
this was at the same house, but it was in the summertime then when we had the rains and we had to go up and that's there at that house where we built.
Where'd you find that kind of wood? Was there a lot of wood around?
Oh, well.
Worlds of wood.
That's when we went to school at San Antonio, in the same schoolhouse that Conrad Hilton. He was born there in San Antonio, New Mexico, and Conrad Hilton, who owned the Hilton Hotels, and his daddy started San Antonio, and he went to the same school that we went to.
Okay, do you have some more over there? Or the friend?
Now these were when we trapped after we moved back to Andrews
Okay.
there. But now that one where Jay and Margaret was at the Rollo Farms was before we came back to Andrews. Don't know what happened to it.
Oh, I may have it over here, but I don't think.
Down close to Lamesa, they were standing on the porch. Okay, that's LaRue's holding Margaret in the background there among the coyotes. And that's Daddy and Jay,
Yes, it sure does.
and that's Jay when he was little. They're stretching and
That's a
tired.
dog.
That's old Ring, we called him. We sure were upset when Daddy gave old Ring away.
Why? Why'd you give him away?
But he did save Margaret's life. She fell in the tank one time and he drug Margaret out of the tank.
Maybe you'll have to tell me the time you were fishing and somebody fell in the tank. Do you remember?
Oh, and that's the catch before they skinned them.
Fish back in.
One day's catch, and
That's
that's
what I
Jay and old
remember.
Ring.
I wasn't watching.
I believe that's a badger down there. See it right here in front of us.
Yeah.
And several rabbits look like there, but that's a badger right there.
That's the same dog?
Uh-huh, that's old Ring.
Looked like a good
Someone
dog.
came and delivered Daddy a tractor, an old tractor, and he's the one that took the old Ring, I think.
Sold some hogs, but
Well, somebody will know
Martha,
that.
you have some more?
they brought the hogs and so Daddy gave them old
Things are
rags.
getting to be a little bit more modern.
Sure was a bunch of mad kids around there.
Okay, these here, these will be a little clearer and a little easier for me to do. These we filmed all those. So here we go again.
Okay, that's back in Andrews, Texas. Don't know who all those are. That's Laverne and Joyce in with Jay and Bernice and LaRue and Viola and myself and I guess it's Margaret. Isn't it?
Bernice over here?
Uh-huh.
Margaret and Ruth.
LaRue, uh-huh.
And Lily.
And I'm in front of Viola. And then Laverne and Joyce. Okay, that was taken in Andrews, Texas at Chuck and Leota's house. That's Jay and Doris and Margaret and Geneva. Geneva has the little doll, and then Patsy and JV.
Patsy and JV are in the center.
That's when Daddy went out and bought me a doll because I just had a screaming fit because I didn't get one for Christmas and Patsy did. So
Did
Daddy
he?
went out and got me one.
Do you remember doing that?
I do.
I bet
Well, I'd have
you
been mad
did.
if I'd known it because I never did get a doll for Christmas. And that's the old house. That's the John Fisher home, and in the background is the wind charger, not a TV antenna up over the top. That's the wind charger that made the electricity for the house. And at one time, all 10 children lived there with Mother and Daddy at one time or other.
They did?
Uh-huh.
Not at one time though.
I didn't
No,
think
not at one time, but they all lived in
one
that.
time or
That's
the
the
other.
only house that they all lived in at one time or another. We were gone when Nona was born, but several of us were married and moved away when Nona was born. But at one time or another, everyone lived in that house.
Oh, and we used to have the best baseball games out in front of it.
Uh-huh.
That old black baseball, remember how
Yeah.
hard it was?
We had one ball to our name, and we kept up with it.
And that was on the John Underwood place, the outhouse in the background, and that's old Spot. Every time we hung out clothes, that cow would come and eat all your clothes up.
And that's
She
the
loved it.
hogs
We called her Rags.
That's the hogs that the fellas delivered and
That took
Daddy
Red.
took over and.
And that's Jay in the background there, on the side there,
Yeah.
by the windmill. And this was in about 1940. In Andrews, Texas. And this was about 1940, and that's Jay Harris and Margaret and Vera Harris. The old hen, the little chickens.
That's, we go to the store nowadays, and them days, I had to set hens, raise my chickens. I was thrilled to death an old hen to go setting in February, so I could have chickens for my birthday.
On your birthday.
I keep letting go of it.
And there is Margaret and Doris and Geneva and Jay. And this was at the John Fisher place. No, that was made at grandmother's house.
Yeah.
Okay, that's down at grandmother's McKinney's house, in southeast part of Andrews County. About 3 or 4 miles out of Andrews.
Boy, it's cold in your house. Why is it so cold in here?
Joe had me
Cold.
turn, he had me turn
What?
it down at probably 72.
Are y'all
or
cold?
70.
Okay.
I'm just comfortable.
Oh, I'm all right.
More? There's more?
All right. Paul, y'all aren't saying enough now.
I bet they're getting tired. They should walk around a little bit and have a cup of
Want
coffee.
to? All right.
Want to take a break?
Yeah, it might be a good
Let's
time
take a break
to take a
then.
break.
Here we
Time
go.
for a commercial.
Commercial break.
Is that what
Well, you go cut some of them off, you do.
You got Nona? You got Nona?
Well, JW's out of it, that angle.
Where's Steve? So if he's come on, Hey, y'all see my big Facebook? They're on the back porch.
Getting through these.
And if I'm so full, he would have been light on the bed and he's out.
You ready, Joe?
You bet.
I'm not getting close up.
I'm taking Doris right now by herself.
Oh! This thing over here is a smoking.
Don't let it blow out.
Yeah, okay, Dave.
That's slowing down.
Where did Geneva go? There she is. I caught her. Okay, yeah, go ahead and get up if you can.
These old bones, he's right taking pictures. That's him getting up. Ernie's had to pour up. He's taking a picture of mine. Ernie's pulling you up. Never tell David. Let's get on the camera.
William? Yeah. Look over there and figure out which one's gonna be best to get a picture of.
I hope you went out of my game.
Well, I mean a lot of all of them. But it won't blow up.
That last one's full of me.
I think I'm gonna get a cup of coffee.
Patty.
I think they probably are. When you went with the ones that are out.
Surely did. Come on, Paul, get up. Anytime you're ready, you can get up. You need me to hold that, Ma?
He wants our picture now, right? Who's baby? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are from last year. We pulled last year. I wish I weren't leaving just yet.
Going back in.
Davey.
Look here. Look here, Haley. Look here, Haley. Look here. Get a picture of Haley. Look here. Look right here.
Next year you're gonna have to bring all that back so we can see it.
Oh, Joe. He
I know, that's what he's doing while y'all sitting there talking. Zoomed in there.
You gonna drive to work?
I'm always wanting to be on TV.
You already are. You have seen it.
Geneva, Karen, Cute, and Harry. No, wait a minute. It's that one up here. Geneva, Karen, Harry's Cute. There you go. That's what it does, right?
Come on, Ham.
No, I'm gonna turn my back on you now.
Just like the rest
I've already said it.
Have to get my wide angle out.
Now, I'm not even there. This is what he said, and I'm not even there. It's Oh, that's
You can quit, Joe. They must be like that. What? What did you say? What did you say? What did you say, yes, Mama?
Trying to feel it.
What did you say?
They're fixing to go home.
Seen, huh? But I can be seen. I finally got around.
Yeah, you said Nona 4 times. Nona was already looking.
I saw it, Nona.
I know.
You know.
We already know that, don't we?
Now, when was this taken place? Yeah, when is the...
Huh?
Where's the baby? Oh, well, he's right.
Look at that.
I know that from off of.
Yeah? No, not nothing left.
I'm sorry. Are they not around just leaving?
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of games, party food, all everything's got
Come from?
Yeah, Bernie and Bob had to leave. They gotta get back to California.
I was doing hippie swing there lately. I got fucked this party lately.
Oh, look at this.
Who you got?
Glad you're here, Roger. Roger got great. Oh, well, I'll see you. I don't know what happened to him. Well, I've always been pretty. What happened to you? He knows we are. Roger, oh, you shake that off. I know you told me, but I ain't
birthday, that's the birthday. No. The way I'm seeing him, I did, I was there. Well, his back kind of thing the other way, Joe.
Rue, you've been hiding from me.
We're all gonna go. How long were you going to that tree? Oh, in a boat. We went from the bank to Oh, and then back.
Roger had green.
Jake's hair changed back colors on.
It wasn't red.
No, I don't believe that's me.
Oh, you don't think so?
Well, you can sure change his moods and his color.
Want to make him a little pale?
That's all I know.
Okay.
Give him rosy cheeks.
Okay. Little. There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
Pretty good, pretty good.
88 today.
88 today.
Are we gonna sing happy birthday?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Hey, Jeremy, you're the...
Not me.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, look over this way. This is the one that's looking at you. This is the one looking at you right here.
Don't see nothing.
He likes to watch himself.
Gonna be
Yeah,
spoiled.
it's gonna be spoiled.
Okay, Mom. Nobody escapes me.
Well, don't take me.
Except for himself.
Put a big smile right into that camera.
Oh yeah, big smile.
I can't believe how she runs
I don't care.
his long handle.
You can't see him.
No, you can't really see him.
Boy, it's fine looking in the letter.
No, that got
Is that blurry on the?
A
Little bit.
A little bit.
Oh! Something else is going to be blurry. Don't put that.
Get a little action in on this.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, kids. Okay, let's talk about something. You're gonna
Talk about red hair.
broad view is what it was. Let's see, we need to.
All right.
Is it 9? I bet you are. Not mine.
Yeah.
Mama.
Well, Paul, happy birthday. Hope you have a lot more.
And tender.
Many more. And many more.
Come here, Michael. You want your picture taken?
Yeah.
Huh? Come
Uh-huh.
here. Come and sit beside Mama. Okay, good. Okay, Kate. No, Mama hung it. You gonna hold the thing? He's all twisted. Helper.
Oh, he's got the baby's hand.
Oh.
Very nice. One broken wrist.
Samuel?
Sam, really, get off of there, 'cause we don't have you on film yet. Well, this can't. He's, you know, he can't.
Y'all need to move over this way, where I'm not looking at that old bright light. Yeah,
That much better.
sure.
It's already how much it is. You got 25,000 or more, why, even, right now, that's worth.
Oh, such solemn people.
You know,
Y'all just look so
some
solemn.
little girl, Trent said, pinched his neck the other day. And he looked weird when he got home, and I said, Tosh, is that really possible? Pinched the neck, and he said it was. So I took Trent's word for it, but
It is.
yeah. Right.
Darling.
Oh, Joe. We got you on the other one, too. You haven't seen yourself yet, have you?
No, I don't wanna see myself.
Oh, Leo. Shucks, man.
Trying to watch the ball game. You're taking my picture.
You're on his hiking boots.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get off them hiking boots.
Those are nice boots. Did he get them? Are they good?
We don't want to.
You need some boots in there.
I think they're gonna be in there.
One way or the other.
They're big enough.
That's what I'm looking forward to is tonight. And getting to work and buying his own stuff.
When I'm working, I can't. Danny? Paycheck. At least he wasn't.
Is Danny what quarterback?
He's still lost.
I know, but he wasn't.
Yeah. Do that again.
What?
Smile.
No.
All right. Like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
See, he doesn't.
Yeah, a little bit.
Good monkey up.
Is that a smile?
I read it like it, at the bank, we got ours at the bank. And they, like if I quit, no, I can't touch mine, can I?
After you're 59 and a half.
Okay.
No, when it matures, you can take it out.
You can't. You
No,
gotta
you're not
invest
right.
it back. It has to remain in our, all you
Yeah.
can do is move it from here to here.
Yeah, Lee, we can withdraw ours because Lee is
No,
59.
no, because of
Okay.
your age.
Okay,
She
well, now
can't.
that tax shelter, that, like, he
Lee,
said,
look behind you.
okay.
Turn around again.
We discussed it.
He said that, like, if I
Like your salary, you know, it's gonna be taxed on that. But it won't be as much because I don't have salary. He said that. That's not good. Well, if, you know, it's on how much you're making in the tax rate. It may be higher than what the tax is now, if you're paid on it, you know. If the tax rate goes up, no matter if you go into a lower bracket, you still pay the same tax. Nobody. Tax levy. Right now, we know it's better now, so at least 2 years at a time, we're gonna pay our taxes all at once.
I never have had that trouble with that.
But this year, you know, I mean, the last 2 years, it's been for nobody. You can keep paying for what you make.
well, yeah, but you
Don't make them Hayes,
He just takes
take
the
the impression, send them to Dallas.
I had a fire made with Hayes too, and they fit all right.
But this tax shelter, you see, that could really help.
Well, they didn't fit Haney, there's something wrong with it, they made them too long. I don't think so, it's just him, I think.
Hayes had a lot of trouble.
I didn't know trouble with mine.
Huh?
Mine just wore out, what he made for me.
Well, your teeth wore off.
Yeah, they just wore out. Wore down.
See, he'll recommend that you have porcelain or ceramic on half of them, and the other half is plastic. And so it won't sound like you beat a couple of rocks together.
It's hard.
did the same thing with yours though.
Did she?
Jerry's house.
And he's doing this to me, huh?
Okay, Sherry. Oh, please, I don't want to.
You
Let's
couldn't
just
repeat
pass
all that.
I'm from Colorado, I like to ski. Oh, God.
And ride horses.
What you need, girlfriend?
You ride horses. Wait, wait, so we'll know that you.
Joe, let's go around.
Okay.
The rest of us
How old are you?
had our turn.
You need to get,
Double time.
Jerry, did you get Jerry earlier?
Let's hear about Jerry.
Okay, Jerry, how old are you?
Hi.
I'm young, really young, and I weigh quite a bit. Within a few pounds of 200. No.
Not as much as Martha.
More than Lee and less than Mark.
That's like an extra.
Hey, Mr. Page, you're up.
Hi, I'm sick. I weigh 15 pounds.
Oh, Kelly.
You gotta come back in.
You move over here. Move over here.
Shelly, get right over here at the door, hon. Right over here at the door. Come on. Okay, tell them who you are now. Look at Joe. Come on.
You gotta move
Come on.
Get by your mom.
Okay. Where should I go?
Tell them who you are. How old you are.
I'm Shelly and I'm 11.
Is this supposed to be on?
Tell them where you live. Where you live.
Just like there?
Did you forget?
Yeah.
No, I live in Evergreen.
It's got one of these things on it.
And what do you like to do?
I like to ride horses.
Oh, okay.
What else?
Yeah, also you
Yeah, I like to.
can. They'll cut it
And
off.
go to school?
No. Wrong. Then I jump any day. Okay, jump on trampolines.
See, there you're on TV. Look at you on TV. Look at you. That's all.
Okay, tell your brothers to come in. We have to get their life story.
Sean, Brian.
Come subject yourself to this. Okay, Hannah, your turn again.
Ryan, come
Over
here.
here.
Come over here by your mother. Come here. Stand right here by your mother and watch the TV. Tell us what your name is.
Ryan.
How old are you, Ryan?
8.
8. What do you like to do, Ryan? Like school?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a neat teacher, don't you?
What grade are you in? What grade are you in?
First grade.
What are we doing? You're on TV.
Well, we're
You're
doing
good.
You're not 15 years from now. We'll look at it and have a good laugh.
Okay, tell them your name and how old you are.
Can I
So
go?
we're recording this for history. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's gonna get into this. This may be a long-winded story.
It's that's right.
Let's see, I was born a cold.
Okay, my name is Sean Page, and I was born in August in 1970, and I'm 14.
What do you like to do?
Ride motorcycle.
Where you down?
I don't know. It's
Africa?
Colorado.
Where are you from, Sean? Redfield? What did you tell people in Colorado?
I don't know. What do I tell people?
Never heard. Y'all come back now, you hear? Y'all from Texas?
Yeah, and we want to know about the girls.
What about them?
What would you want to know about? You want to know anything? Do you have a girlfriend?
What grade are you in now? 8th grade? That's what grade Trump's in. I didn't realize.
John,
you were in
your
same
turn.
grade.
John.
Okay,
Your
Sean.
turn.
Thanks,
Thank
Sean.
you.
Have fun.
How old is he now?
Be at least about.
Time.
Can we learn about the
I
guy?
don't think she tied
She didn't
I
time.
like to embarrass people. Dinner theaters, you have to be under the table when the lights come back on. So you crawl out real quick.
Oh, that's sure.
this
Out
big,
loud.
and went to this Windmill Dinner Theater, and it was between acts, and the lights went off, and when the man came back on, he was reaching for the light switch to turn it on, and he was hollering Penelope, Penelope, and he came in, and she'd gone upstairs with this soldier to get him some new clothes. And after he called her name out 3 times and reached, I tried to find the light switch, see, to turn it on. Well, Lee said, she went upstairs. So then the man fell down and started laughing.
You could see
And
a
he
shadow in the darkness.
he was right here next to us, and he fell to the floor, and then he couldn't find the light switch, and he got tickled. Everybody started clapping. And poor Sherry, Ralph and I knew Lee was fixing to say that after he hollered at Penelope 3 times. So Lee said, well, he's wondering where she was. I thought I'd tell you.
Well, the dummy had been
So Sherry
reversed
just crawled under the table. She was so embarrassed. And at the end, they made Lee stand up, and they applauded him as part of the cast.
Oh, but you were embarrassed with him.
Ralph and I knew what Lee was fixing to say. After the boy said it 3 times and said that, we knew that Lee was fixing to tell him where she was. She went upstairs with that old boy.
Mark was red though when the lights came on. Somebody was looking at our table.
Martha didn't know where I would be either.
That was at our 25th anniversary. This is when you still live in Houston. Yeah.
Sherry's been trying to get even. She had it all figured out, and we didn't show her.
Crawl.
Yeah, let up, and it'll stay recording.
Oh, it'll stay
Yeah.
recorded.
Yeah, you're recording now.
Okay, Ralph. Hi, darling.
What do you want?
We made 3,195.
Now see, what you're seeing in that screen is what's going on the TV. And however close you get.
All right, Ryan. Okay, now how do you stop?
Same way, just push that little button. Okay.
Take that top.
Now I am.
Now you are? Okay. And where were you living?
We was living in the northeast part of town, up there, where they say Moxley lives there now. I don't know for sure, but anyhow, it's right down the street from the old Emerson place, you know. And so Ivy and Bill wanted to go to Colorado City, and George and Jill and Steve Branson was with us. So we went and picked up George and Steve. They were up at Fisher's, Northern Fisher's working, and picked up Daddy. And so we got married.
Now you're talking about tomorrow,
Yeah,
on the 24th.
yeah. But, that's 24th.
Yeah.
And we went to Colorado City that night. Got down there just as getting up at 6 o'clock. And
How long did it take you to get from here to Colorado City?
all night long.
All night long.
Model T.
Yeah.
Model T,
How fast would it go? About?
about 35, I guess.
Would
maybe.
it?
Something like that. But, okay. Of course, there's, I guess, 7 of us in there.
Oh my goodness, so everybody went with you on your honeymoon?
We didn't have no honeymoon.
You went to Colorado City to see who?
Agnes,
Oh.
Sky.
Well, okay, what were you doing on the 23rd? Tell me again about how cold it was and...
Oh, it was just cold. We were just trying to stay warm, I guess. Well, I don't remember just what we was doing.
Well, okay, so, and you said that the ice, tell me again about that, about what happened with the
Well,
water tower.
It was just, we had a water tank, and it leaked,
Uh-huh.
and it just come down or all around down on the stand, and just froze, you know, and just kind of made a house in there, just an ice.
Good night.
It was just icicles
Yeah.
all around it. And
What time did you get married during the day? What time did
it was after 8 o'clock that night.
8 o'clock the night of the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then y'all took off for Colorado City.
Mm-hmm. It's just that he was just a piece.
Uh-huh.
And Ivy and Bill, George and Steve, Joe, and Roy Wilson and his wife and 2 children, I believe they had. And seemed like one of the Woods boys might have been over there, I'm not sure. But anyhow, they had the Christmas tree. Well, Vesta and Alvin came up to the courthouse when we just got my license. And I believe they were there. I don't remember. But anyhow, we talked to them that night.
And you were how old?
17 and a half.
17 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy was 28 and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I guess it was because you're half a year older than I am.
Just barely passed my birthday.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But anyhow.
That's true. November to December. So y'all traveled all night long and with all those people in a Model T.
Mm-hmm.
We like to roast that too.
How'd you keep warm?
Well, just coats and wraps. Didn't have no heater or nothing like that.
You didn't keep one.
You did? God,
You just went in and it was cold.
yeah.
And,
Golly, I don't know if I could have stood it. I like my heater going full blast.
yeah.
Well,
We
what's
didn't
that
know
thing,
nothing
heater
about
those
it.
days?
We didn't know nothing about it, so we didn't think nothing about it.
Model Ts.
And of course, those days, I had a sweater for coat.
Yeah,
Didn't have a coat, just had a sweater.
good.
It was pretty heavy sweater.
Well,
then,
yeah, but, you know, in your wedding picture, the day,
Yeah,
when
but
was
he
that?
got that after we got married,
Oh.
went down there and we went shopping then.
I see,
He
in
got
Colorado
me-
City.
Yeah. he
Was
got-
it bigger than it is now? Was it a bigger community
Oh,
than
no,
Andrews?
no. Oh, yeah, it is bigger than Andrews.
Oh.
Oh, it had several stores in it. He bought me a coat and he bought some towels and things.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
But you know, I
To
had,
set up housekeeping.
of course, he had stuff that he wanted me to have.
Yeah. Yeah. What, and then everybody came back with you at the same?
Mm-hmm, they all came back together and, then, Alvin and Vesta took us home. We come back on, I believe Christmas was on Wednesday. And then Sunday evening, they took us up to our mansion.
Where was that?
On a great place up there. That's there on close to Fisher's. It was a 2-story.
Why did they take you up there?
We didn't have no wedding.
I thought you didn't have the Model T.
No, Bill Wilson.
Oh,
There's
okay.
Bill Wilson's Model T and we Old Calamity. We just had a Model T without any top and everything. That's what we went in. And Alvin had a Model T Roadster. And he and Vesta took us on that.
I don't remember.
I do.
So that's when your life together began, really, I guess, huh?
That was 1923.
Four.
No, 24.
Yeah,
They
after we-
met in 23, remember?
Who all was here?
No, we
During that
didn't
time?
marry in 23, married in 24.
I know, you met in
Oh,
23,
yeah.
y'all were staying. Because y'all came here in 1923 and Mother's family came here in 1923. I remember y'all
Yeah.
saying that last time.
Who all was here about that time? You know, the people in this area, the Fishers and the
Thornberry.
Thornberry.
Thornberry lives out southwest of town here.
Thornberry, where the road comes together out there at the, does she drive a school bus? Who is
Oh,
that?
no, you're thinking about Reynolds. You're thinking about Bill
Oh.
Reynolds. No, they, as far as I know, they weren't here then.
No, they were.
And, well, the McCarleys, they was out there in the McCarley neighborhood, and, the
None of the
Woods,
Woods is all up yonder.
the Woods live here in town, and the Speeds, Murphy Speed, and Grandpa Speed, and,
Old man Dunn.
yeah, Dunn's. They
What
live
did he
in-
do?
to run a hotel, and doing hotel.
The Speeds, they run the
It
girls.
was where White's is now, or right on the corner of Main and Broadway, is that
And
where?
just about where the bank is, First National Bank is,
Okay.
right there. We had a tank out there, a water tank, and the mill out there to water our horses. Right there, just right along there about where Porter's.
Yeah. That's before Maurice came in there, wasn't
Oh, yeah.
Where's
And,
that thing in Maurice?
The,
That hotel,
Hey,
you
Mom.
see right about where Marnice was.
Marsh.
Maurice was, that's about where the hotel was. Then right on down where Porter had that store, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's about where the water tank was. Right
Kind of next to the ice house there.
Yeah, right there.
And the Prices, that girl, their folks and them was living here. And,
Uncle Andy Williams.
yeah, Mr. Hazel Price's mother and daddy. Rita Price's mother.
That's going to. What about let's see, the Fishers were here? Was Means, Bob Means?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did they lived in town, or?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, Bob Means wasn't living here right then. He came in later. And because,
Wasn't about 60 voters in the whole county.
but the
60.
Speeds was the main people in. They was,
They were. Well, what did they do?
they run the grocery store and the post office. And they, Mr. Speed was one time, he was, he was run for sheriff after we were married. I know he wanted me to vote and I wasn't on.
Wasn't no bank going around.
No bank then,
going around.
so.
What about, like, did you know the Flints?
Tom's
Like
is-
Marion Flint and the Faskins, the Faskins?
No, I've heard of them, but I didn't know.
And the Scarvers, did you know any of all that?
Yeah,
Scarver.
Scarvers are here, and what was, that boy which we was talking about, the check bounced on him, Arnold Scarver.
That's right.
And, well, his wife, Watkins, they lived here then. And, Lonuses,
Not too many people.
you know?
Not too many people. And y'all got the first marriage license in this county, is that right?
No,
No, we're not the first ones, but,
Oh, what was the deal about that?
we didn't have to pay for them. Well, treat me like last night we got.
oh yeah, the Pollard, Fisher Pollard's the one we got the license from.
Well, he was
He was
a clerk,
Yeah.
county clerk.
Fisher Pollard. That's, Gene Irvin's uncle.
Oh, okay.
It's, Hunter Irvin's.
Yeah.
The Irvins, of course, they were here,
Yeah.
of course.
Hunter.
Hunter Irvin and,
An officer.
and, the,
Figured he was, what's his name? Figured he was out there. He was here.
what was them boys? There was that boy that worked out there for Hayden. It's
Hayden
Ken
Miles?
Dunn's.
The
It's
Miles?
Ken Dunn's, and, well,
I don't think Hayden Miles here right then.
yes, he was. Because I worked for him before ever we married.
What did you do?
House kit, $20 a month, done the washing, on the rub boards, cooked, mopped the floors, gave the kids a bath. I was just housekeeper.
He was maid.
Yeah. Okay, so when you decided to get married, how come you decided, did you just decide like that, or did you, since it was so late when you went to get your license and all, what?
Well, we planned on getting married, but didn't have set no date, but Ben's was going down there, we wanted to go to college.
I see.
Of course, I did, I guess Daddy
I don't know why I was so late. I didn't realize.
Well, we didn't get in town here, we went out there and picked you all up, and we didn't get back until late.
Yeah, long did it take to get out there?
Well, quite a bit, because we didn't have no roads those days.
Uh-huh.
We might have pushed through the sand, I don't know, to get there.
Yeah. Did you know they were coming out there?
I don't know.
Uh-uh. No,
Y'all
they
just
didn't know.
came, and you
Mhm.
said, come on, we're gonna go get married, huh?
He says, well, I was gonna get me a different shirt. I forget what kind of shirt, but anyhow, the dress, I had on
So
a
it
brown dress with a
it was
kind
all
of
her
cream.
idea, huh? Was all your idea, huh?
I guess so.
So I can see the sun coming in there real, you don't think it'll matter? Okay.
Well, I like that.
You think it's
If you
better?
want to put it down, you can. I don't think it'll make any difference.
Well, I
Just
don't want you, we couldn't even hardly see Mother in her birthday picture because of the backlight. Yeah, that's probably better. Now, is it affecting the lighting?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay, that's probably better. For a while, anyway. Okay. So y'all just,
Big gates, the gates is here.
Well, there's a whole figure too.
Well, I couldn't think of their names, that's one reason I say.
Yeah, the gates
Gates and,
is locked and picked. And the short spars.
yeah.
And Moxley, little man Moxley, Ed Moxley is here. I think he's about the only one
Miss
that's here.
Taylor, Miss Taylor, don't forget her, because she was running this telephone office.
oh, she did, there were telephones?
Yeah,
I
she
didn't know that.
it had a old board you had to put on the
Yeah.
earphones and lightning, she'd have to put a pencil in between her ear and them phones,
To keep from getting lightning strikes? Good, man.
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody had any telephones, I don't remember any.
Oh, they hadn't had a telephone, one of them on the box,
Yeah.
just wound on.
I know what kind of a line was it?
Well,
Barbed wire fence?
yeah, part of it was on the
Yes,
barbed
that'd
wire
be,
fence and just,
Wasn't nothing else.
but anyhow, they had a telephone. You can understand for the Craddock's, did we mention him?
I don't think so.
Well, Craddock's was here.
And Sutton's.
Sutton's.
Oh, yeah.
Is Mr. Suffin the one that just had that one finger that
Yeah.
son of a gun drove a school bus?
Yeah.
He was my school bus driver. He beats the dickens out of you. Had these fingers cut off or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Boy, he just get your leg, just twist like that.
Oh,
Several of them Sutton's, a bunch of them.
But Connor's the one, I guess you
Yeah,
said
he's
the
one that
one.
drove the bus.
He's one who drove the bus.
Emma's still here, isn't she?
Yeah, she's, her and I, Liz got to talking the other day, of course, this ain't old time, but anyhow, they got talking the other day, and she wants to go to Colorado City and just cry out. Says, take a whole week of it. She said there wasn't a better woman in the world. She ain't Susie. She sure thought lost that.
Yeah.
They wanted to go down there, they didn't live too far from them, and so she wants to go down there and just cry around.
Did you ever see old Colonel Shafter?
No.
That fella that came through and decided that's what he'd name that town, Shafter, out there?
No, that's before we come here.
Okay, so you went up there and started your lives together, and how long did you stay up there, where you were living? The Great place, you said?
The great, yeah.
Yeah, is this one of the places that didn't have floors?
Oh, no, we had floors.
You had-
It is a two-story house,
Oh.
in a way.
Uh-huh.
It is a room enough up there for you to put beds
Mhm.
upstairs.
That's where Aunt Nona was raised, you might say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, 'cause her family was Gregg. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's their place.
Uh-huh.
And, well, we did stay there but one year, and then we moved over on Chase Place.
No, I don't,
Yeah,
not that far away, was it?
yeah. We moved over on Chase Place, and we stayed over there. Well, my old was born.
Where was Loretta born? On the Gregg place?
Yeah, I guess she did. Yeah, she was born there. Yeah, we stayed there a year, and then we moved over on the Chase Place, and my old, of course, she's born mothers, but anyhow, that's where we was living. And then we stayed there, and then we went to Colorado State, and then we come back. Bernie's came back. Bernie's born, and then we let things over on the Castle place, and stayed down over there. Made it one crop, I guess, and then we moved on the John Fisher place. Yes, John Fisher place first. That's yes. And then Marvin told us that we'd move over on John Underwood place. Well, he had it leased or something, and we wouldn't have to pay no rent. So we moved over there. And from there, well, I don't know how long. Well, I guess we stayed there. We built them. Well, she was driving the school bus for several years there. And we was living on John Underwood place. Martha was born. And that's when Woodrow Wilson kills Steve Pritchard. He was living on old Chase place. Woody, what was their names that lived at Flores?
Woolley.
Yeah, Woolley. He was with Steve and Woodrow at the time, and he was driving a Model T, and when he come by the house, he run into steep bushes, tore the fenders off the car, and he is scared to death.
Oh, what happened?
Woodrow had shot Steve
Pritchard.
Pritchard.
Why did he do it?
Well, they got to drinking, I think, from Harvey. And so, we don't know
So he
yet.
scared somebody off.
Yeah.
Awful bad.
Yeah.
Scared him so bad he drove through the bushes and tore all the fenders
But there
off.
weren't roads, though, really, like you said.
Well, no, it's just a little, ragging roads and gutters, you know, big old ruts. And it was a mud hole there, you know, or it used to be. I don't know what it was right then or not, but anyhow, it was deep ruts. And he
went around it.
he just was so scared. And
God.
I remember.
They peddled whiskey. They made whiskey over old Floyd at that time. And we figured he'd taken that whiskey over there. There's whiskey everywhere, I can smell it.
So why did he come to your house?
He didn't come by that. He just had to come by. The road came by there. I remember.
Underwood place.
It's on the Underwood place there, you know. And so, of course, they had me out to tell what I'd seen and heard. I don't know, I was...
When was this? What year?
It was after Bernice.
Oh, 30. Martha was born in
Yeah,
1930.
Martha was a baby. And I remember sitting there and holding her, you know, and seeing all that racket. Couldn't imagine what it was all about.
Golly. Pretty wild places. So, and you said with Martha that you looked like you were about the size of a toothpick. You lost a lot of weight when you carried her.
I was 6 months young, and I was just as flat as a board.
Yeah.
And overnight, just...
And you said you could stand sideways, and what did you say about when you were carrying her?
Well,
What's your terms? I forget how you said it.
well, anyhow, we was living up there in the house, same house as Clyde Fisher and his wife. And, well, he says, I don't know, he told his wife, says, I know she's not pregnant, says she don't show. And just, overnight, you might say, I look like a bear.
Yeah. Martha weighed quite a bit, right?
Oh, yeah, she weighed 10 pounds.
Yeah.
We had to have a doctor from Seminole those days. We used a doctor from Seminole.
Dr.
And he
Richards.
came to the house, right?
Came to the house.
How'd you get him fast enough? How'd you get up there and tell him to come?
He had a,
I don't remember.
we had a little old car that you managed, and you went and got Dr. Richard, and told him, and then you came back by Isla shipments and picked her up and brought her up over there. And Agnes would have to be out there, Mama and Daddy, and Daddy's all out there. When it happened.
Yeah.
That's, she was born at the Underwood place.
Who's that?
Martha.
Paul, where did they make moonshine over there at Flory, or
Yeah,
was it
They had- they
at the
had-
park, or where was it at?
I don't know just where it's at, but, he wasn't the only one. There's several stills all over the country.
Really?
Yeah. There's one in the Longbottom house. He's fooling around over there one day and uncovered a pitiful thing out there in the garage. There's a whole tub of mash in under there. And they pushed me out of there.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Was it against the law?
yeah.
Supposed to be, but at those times, everybody was doing everything to make it a dollar.
Yeah. When was the Depression? Was it at
29.
29?
Started at 29 and run on up to about 34.
So that's why everybody was really
Yeah, anything to make a dollar while you pack them.
And what'd you do? Farm and trapped both, and cattle? And
Yeah, I had a few cattle.
So did y'all grow a lot of things that you could eat? How did y'all get through all this Depression?
Well, we had our chickens, and we had our milk, and we had our meat, hog meat, and we didn't. Now that's when you set your own hens most of the time, because it just thrilled me to death for an old hen to go setting in February so I could have early chicken.
Yeah.
And what year was it when we had that cold spell? And we was living on Chase Place.
32.
32. It come a cold spell, and we had canned stuff, you know, and it just froze them cans and busted them open.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's cold.
It was, now that was a blizzard, and we lost 5 head of cattle on account of that.
I was driving the school bus going international, and I had to crawl in under there over Morganville floor right in on the crankcase before I could get things started.
Who all rode that school bus?
Who wrote it?
Who was on it?
Oh,
Remember any people
not very many.
that are here today?
Oh, some of them. Our kids, yes.
The Thompsons?
Who's that? Paul?
He said our kids were here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had, I guess, 3 or 4 on those school bus, and Gene Irvin
Gene
and the
Irvin,
Thompson boys,
He wrote it.
there's 2 of them. There's, one of them wasn't named Thompson, it was a girl's boy, Billy Thompson. And,
They were hard, I think.
and, yeah, I believe his name was Thompson. And then I think you pick up the Nixon kid after you got back to the town. I think you picked up,
Nixon.
yeah, the
What, Nixon?
Pearl, and,
No, I don't think I ever picked up them. I picked up Downings out there.
well, yeah, the Downing kid. Well, you might not picked up, but I was thinking you picked up.
Where was the schoolhouse? In Andrews?
Yeah.
In Andrews, and y'all lived a lot of miles. What time did you have to leave to make a bus run?
Pretty darn early, I tell you.
I imagine. Because you couldn't have gone that fast, and the roads weren't that good, so you
Yeah, and then of course he picked up Junior.
Junior Fisher. Goodness, you must have had to leave about 5 o'clock in the morning.
He picked up Gene Irving, and then the Fishers, and besides our kids.
How did you get paid?
Well, I didn't get paid for a long time. I bought my gas all on the credit and was driving for $45 a month. No, that one was furnished my own car, $45 a month, furnished my own car.
Yeah.
But when I drive that school bus, I forget now, I didn't get very much. But I drive my own car up there while the school didn't have no money, and I had to wait until the vouchers they just give me a voucher, waited till taxis come in so I could cash them vouchers.
Oh,
That's
God.
no different than they're doing today, is it? They're doing the same thing right now.
Well,
They don't pay
About
us.
this time of the year, see, they run out of money.
Well, they sure didn't have
But
me
the,
up there.
you know, because they're waiting on the new taxes to come in and everything,
well,
You don't think those bus drivers get a regular paycheck?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Huh, that's what I thought.
yeah, I mean, they got money enough, they get a regular
Yeah,
paycheck,
They
and
budget for that to
Yeah.
extend
And,
it to last.
I couldn't have got very much while I was running the international, I don't remember. I don't know what I got to do very much.
What did you do during the day?
he run trap line.
Oh,
A lot of the time, he did.
I
When
could
it
go
was
to
so-
school?
Yeah,
Nah.
you sure did, a lot of times. You did, sir, you'd come back and run your trap line.
I don't know that.
How many years did you drive a school bus?
Oh, gosh, I don't know, I drove a long time.
And you didn't have to go to the army, right?
No, I wasn't hardly old enough to go
Okay.
to the first army.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't old enough for that.
I was too young for the second, too old for the second.
Oh, okay. I didn't, seems like I had heard somebody say something about the fact you drove the school bus was one of the reasons you didn't have to go to the army.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, no, he,
That, First World War was all over before I was driving in school bus. That's when the equipment I was up in Mexico.
Yeah,
that's
okay,
before we was married.
okay.
Yeah.
And the Civil War,
No,
whatever happened,
First World War.
that was
That's
okay,
Civil War.
that was okay, I'm all mixed up. Civil War was a long time,
Oh,
were
yeah.
you even born when it was going on?
My dad's
Yeah, I knew
Daddy.
somebody had been in it.
My dad's daddy was in that.
He fought in it?
Yeah.
Which side?
He was on the south side and mother's daddy was on the north
Oh,
side. I guess they fought against one another.
good night.
my granddad Fancher, he was in it. He fought.
Okay, so if, where did your grandmothers fought on the north side? Did they live in the north?
Yeah, they lived
Where?
up there in Illinois.
Okay.
That's where.
Are those pictures we were looking at?
Yeah.
So many of them from Chicago, or from someplace in Illinois? Those
I
10
don't know what
pictures?
place in Illinois. They lived, you know.
And their names were Cook,
Cooks.
and that was your mother's family, side of the family. Wonder how they met.
I don't know,
How she got to the south, or he got to the north.
but they said, he said they married, and he was picking cotton lived in a tent, and he said that when they got married, well, she cooked supper that night, and he said that was the best supper he ever eaten in his life. And they was out, just living in a tent.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
That's
Every-
bad, huh?
everybody has to have a room to themselves, the children and
Yeah.
all. And now, well, we wasn't nothing in those days and times to see tents,
Yeah.
people living in tents.
And what about the time in Mexico when, were you living in a tent, did you say, when you had the month and the river overflowed? Where were you?
Well,
Just on the
before
river?
that, before we got the house built, no, right at that time, we built our house.
Uh-huh.
But, before, we got the house built, we was living out in under trees,
Uh-huh.
2 cottonwood trees. Of course, I had that old range stove, and,
I guess we just had sheets stretched over that to do it.
just over the beds all we had, and the trees was our rest of protection.
Uh-huh.
And it come that snow, and we was, there was just, all we had was just that tarp stretched over 2 farmstead beds, you
Yeah.
know. And,
How many kids were there at the time?
Well,
Jay
Albert,
was,
Jay was the baby.
Jay
Uh-huh.
was the baby,
So you had the 5
the 5 girls
and Jay.
and Jay. And, so after that, well, Daddy, he was out on, at Capata out there on, well, it was on where we had our cabin. And he came in and he got busy and we built us a 2 or 3 room house.
When did it flood? When did it was beside a river, right?
Well, it's drainage ditch,
Oh.
but it didn't, the river as far as it, we wasn't too far from the river. But still, it wasn't the river that was overflowing, it was just such a rain, it come down off the mountains and covered all of the ground. And of course, they thought the river, but as far as the river ever getting up too much, it never did.
And what did you have to do? You had to walk somewhere. In the
Yeah,
water.
we waded out and through that and went up. Listen, and Leo was living out there then.
Cool.
Well, on the bus, of course.
Who is that? Lithium?
That's his sister.
And Leo?
Yeah, his brother-in-law.
Okay.
And so they come and got us, and we went. They couldn't bring a car in, you see. We had to walk to the highway.
And you had to carry Jay. And you had the mom.
Mm-hmm.
That fascinates me, how
Yeah.
you did that. And you didn't get really sick after that?
No, I never did get too sick.
Huh.
Lou and I both had the mom.
Two of you had the mom. And you were undoubtedly nursing Jay too at the
Oh.
time. Good, Nia.
And as we was going to Lizzie's, well, we had to stop on the side of, well, we had a flat. And so we saw 3 tornadoes up in there. Miss Banning's sister was with us. She was going to her son's, and well, her son come and picked us all up. And so we seen those tornadoes.
Good, Nia.
And I guess that's the only relief business we ever got was part of a sack of flour.
Before, when I was telling you about, we left Stonewall County, you know, I forgot to tell you about the 2 of us had the smallpox.
Typhoid fever.
Sam, just younger than me, had typhoid fever too. We both had typhoid fever. We got big sprains.
Oh, good night.
And doctor says, well, says can't do nothing for you. Says the best thing just keep you in the wagon and travel. So we just stayed in the covered wagon, went from there to Roy, New Mexico. Just traveled around. Dad's looking for a place. That's when I told him before we settled in over here close to Talis.
Is that because, did they not want, if you stayed in one place, it could spread to other people?
No, you had to stay out in the air. They wanted you to
Oh.
stay out in the air, out in the open. Do you judge, you know.
The Nelson's son, Jack, he had that typhoid fever, and they told him the same thing. Well, they had an old Model T, and they just traveled.
Is that right? Oh, they.
So just keep them out in the open air as much as you can.
And they did survive.
Yeah, sure.
Typhoid fever, what is that? What is that? What
Well,
does it make you
Bad
do?
fever,
I don't know, just,
You know, what is it that makes you, that ends up cutting off your breathing? What is that called, Joe? Okay.
that's, well, if you have a real bad pneumonia, it cuts it off, but now that, eczema or something like that, it cuts
Yeah, it's something else though that used to be, you know, if somebody would get it, it would just spread all over the town, and it was really a bad thing, and it would like get all this stuff in your throat, and it had, nowadays, they would do like a tracheotomy and open that up to where you could breathe, but it would suffocate you. And I can't remember what that was called. Okay, I'm gonna look here and see what Geneva, okay, that was one of the things Geneva had written down about them having typhoid fever.
Yeah.
She says that, also gave some whiskey.
Yeah.
That was one of the,
whiskey, very big springs for medicine.
then she says Grandpa Harris bought cattle for $7 a head and paid with $5 gold nuggets.
Yeah.
Where was that?
That's over for Taos, New Mexico.
$5 gold nuggets. Where'd you get them?
Well, those days, lots of gold pieces. That's what they had
that's when
used.
they didn't have greenback those
Yeah.
days, it's gold.
It was the real stuff.
Yeah.
How big was a $5 gold nugget?
It wasn't very big. That seemed like about $1. It would be. That's worth $5. That's good deal.
Well, and
What we have is small.
If they're $5 gold pieces, gold nuggets would be a little different.
Well, now this gold piece, I don't know what the luggage is. What it was. I don't know what it gold.
Yeah. Okay, and then it says here that you had to feed cattle by burning thorns off prickly pears. The
Yeah.
winter was so dry. When was that?
That's the same time over that, about 99, that's when we lived in Portales.
And you had to burn the thorns off the prickly pears.
Yeah, that's what you had to feed his cows, so they had to feed them through the winter.
Oh my gosh.
No, when 18 droughts, when Uncle Harold did that right down here at Webster.
Yeah. We haven't had a drought that bad since I've been here, have we?
No.
Seems like we've had some awful dry years where the sand blew year round,
Well,
like the year
that's
Trent
true.
was born.
But we've always,
Had
but
water.
in 52, we failed to make a crop. And that's the only time that we failed to make a little something.
Yeah. And then it says Moore County Dumas lived in a half dugout.
Yeah, that's what we left there, and I think I told you before, we went to Colorado and Thin Beach.
Uh-huh.
Chavez was born there in 1900.
To do what, Paul?
Thin Beach,
Remember the sugar beet?
To Thin Beach.
yeah, just had to crawl along for them, I believe, one at a place, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then come back to Amarillo, Dad bought, seemed like 3 sections of land there, and that's where Hanny was born. We lived in a half dugout.
And it snowed so bad, he had to tie ropes to go to the lot.
Back to the,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So he could be guided back or
Yeah.
pulled back in. Who, your dad?
yeah.
My gosh.
Had to go out there and feed the horses.
Yeah. And the horses made it through that?
Did you say anything about the chips, cow chips?
Yeah,
right?
some of them you collected cow chips in tow sacks
Yeah.
in order to do what?
Have wood for winter, that's all we had to do.
that's
is
all we
cow
had to
chips.
burn, honey.
There wasn't any mesquites, huh?
Oh, no.
No, and it wasn't green mesquites, why, they were green,
Wasn't
you
no
see.
green mesquites up
Then,
there.
and, well, no, not up around Amarillo, but even here, we didn't have, since they went to tearing up this land on the time that there's been wood here.
Oh.
And you just, well, when we first come up here, we couldn't hardly get enough stuff together. We burnt cow chips, anything we could get. Daddy hauled them he'd haul off cotton, and he'd come back with that old Faskin Railroad and pick up a load of ties.
That's what they done with the railroad.
That's when they done away the railroad. Well, he'd pick up them ties and bring them back for wood so we could have fire.
What railroad was that, Paul?
One come out from Midland,
But one,
Went from Midland to,
Seminole.
Seminole, and Faskin, you know, is the place where they had a little depot.
Well, that's right, it's on that,
Big
Telephone
spring
road?
telephone road, what's
Telephone.
that?
now there's a ranch out there. I know Amico has some stuff called the Faskin AS and AU,
Yeah.
the David Faskin, but that Faskin stuff runs all the way to the Midland County line, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but anyhow,
Well,
that's,
that telephone road,
it
that's
went
come right
to
up to.
Seminole.
Okay, where did the railroad kind of parallel the telephone road? None of it ever got in Andrews County?
No, except over here, it went across it over here where, about where the road, 9 miles out of here, you know.
Uh-huh.
Where telephone road?
Yeah, it
Runs
went
now.
down and right on up to Seminole.
Yeah, there's a ranch house out there on the east side of that telephone road.
That's where Cotton lives. What is that?
Well, I heard you, I can't think now, you know.
Well, shoot. Yeah, big outfit there. Oh,
Yeah, pretty big place.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not part of the Scarborough stuff, is it?
No, that's South Scarborough, quite a way south of Scarborough.
It's all Faskin, isn't it?
Well, that is, I think, all of that, but I don't think Scarborough has much of a Faskin. I think they're in the northeast of Faskin.
And then there's 3 wheels, right? Nearly, what, is it 3 wheels or 5 wheels?
5
Five wells, that's what we used to go by, the 5 wells, Scarborough outfit.
And where is that at?
Well, between here and Lamesa over there on this.
Yeah. There's 3 windmills there now. They raise horses there right now,
Well,
don't
I don't know, that's been in the cow business for 100 years. I used to work for Ram Floyd down there below Midland that started working for the fire wells up there when he was 17 years old. That's been a long time ago. And he said he worked there, I forget how many years he worked there. But the fire wells been here, I guess they were one of the first ones, as far as I know, they was the first ones.
To actually get into the cattle business.
Yeah.
And who was the five wells? Who's that? Who's that belong to?
Scarber's.
Scarber's?
Yeah. Of course, I think it's all leased land. I think it's
University of Texas.
Yeah, the old Clarence Scarborough. He built that hotel down in Midland, that big old hotel, you know, in the bank.
Scarborough?
Yeah, that's Scarborough. That's Lawrence Scarborough.
Did you ever know him?
No, I didn't know him.
What about the Slaughters? Did you know any of the Slaughters? M.A.L. Slaughter or
Slaughters?
over by La Mesa?
No, I didn't know.
They had a lot of farmland off over there.
Yeah, I've heard of him before, but I didn't know.
So y'all would pick up these cow chips and put them in the tow sacks, and then Grandpa came along with a wagon and picked them up to the store for winter fires.
Yeah.
Just in a covered wagon.
Put them in the
I mean,
shed.
not a covered.
Put them in the shed, keep them dry.
Yeah.
In the winter.
Yeah.
That's the only kind of wood we had.
And it wasn't really wood.
No.
And it didn't smell or anything like that?
No, dry cow chips, you know.
Dry
Yeah.
cow chips, don't smell. Well, good night. We picked them up. That's the way we used to heat our water to wash with.
Yeah.
But then, oil clothes, put the old wash pot out there and rub them on the rubber, then put them in the pot. Lye soap, let them boil. Take them out.
Lye soap. You used to make that, didn't
Oh,
you?
didn't
How
you?
do you make lye soap?
You put a
Grease, use grease.
Five.
lye.
5
Well,
quarts of
grease
lye, 3 cans of lye, and
5 what now?
quarts of grease.
That's that lard that you
Mhm.
get when you peel
Meat
it.
lard or whatever you got to make it with.
And then 3 cans of lye?
And then that lye eats all that up, you see. And you have
And it
a
gets
quart of
salty.
water, and it'll turn to soap.
Yeah. And when you use that, you used it in the scrub, with the scrub board?
Rub board.
Rub board? And what did you do? Put the clothes on there and then rub the soap up and down on it? And that's how-
Put the clothes over your rub board and then rub your soap on there and then rub them. Get the dirt out.
Yeah. How often did you do laundry?
Well, every week.
Once a
That's on-
week, usually.
Yeah. Of course, you didn't change clothes those days. You
Yeah.
didn't have the water to bathe in like you do nowadays, and you wore your clothes,
Yeah.
and you didn't change your bedding like you do.
Yeah.
My mother said 2 days put out her washing, 2 days every week. Put out her washing.
And if you had anything, if you wanted fresh clothes, you'd have to do it. Now, you kids, you all never had over 3 dresses, hardly at any time to wear to school. And if you had fresh clothes, I'd have to pan them out at night.
Yeah.
And same way with Jay, when he was going, he had 2 pair of overalls. It's pins, striped overalls. Well, he got them too dirty, why I had to wash them out at night and have them ready for him to wear.
How'd they dry? In the
Well,
winter,
yeah.
they didn't dry very good.
No,
Did you have to iron them then?
well, yeah. Yeah, that's
So they
right.
hang them around the stove a lot of times.
Hang
Yeah.
them around the stove.
And-
And the irons you used were those kinds you heated up on the stove, right? They were real heavy. I remember using them occasionally. Did you ever see one, Joe?
There's one sitting around here someplace, isn't there? I've seen them.
Yeah, well, I don't know, I had some here that I've seen them the other day. Nowadays, they don't even wash the babies' diapers.
Yeah.
And now they've got to have at least 5 dozen to start out with. Well, I raised mine on 2 dozen diapers, and you can imagine,
How often you had to wash. Yeah.
made no difference how bad it was. And I might have to wash and hang them around the stove. Might push all the kids back to get the baby's diapers dry.
Yeah. Golly. The good old days, huh?
take it now.
Isn't this nuts?
Oh, yeah.
Have it
Yeah.
right inside the house and.
Rise eat me out the other day. He says, what do you hang out your clothes for? Well, I don't know. I just like to hang my clothes out. And where you put your underclothes in there, if it's got a stain on them anyway, well, you just cooked it in there. It
Yeah.
won't come out. Well, I can hang them outside. And if that sun
Yeah.
brings it out.
Well, when did you graduate to a wringer washer? When did you?
When, I think I got a washer after about the time Geneva was.
I remember at the old house that it wasn't inside anything, it was just out in the open, close to the water that came from the windmill to the tank. I guess you had a hookup there.
Them hay tanks had a little engine. You had to step over the starter, you know.
Yeah,
It's,
Yeah. I
gas,
barely
gas
remember that.
motor. And sometimes it'd start and sometimes you had to have a regular spark plug, one of them Maytags, or it wouldn't start. It had to go down in there so far. Or if you put just a regular spark plug off a car, it wouldn't start.
During World War II, I guess it was, they got to ration gasoline, you know, and Farrell Nix, the daddy, he was running this thing here at Andrews, and I had to sign up before I get a gallon of gas from a washing machine.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And,
But you could get it for the tractor.
Huh?
You could get it for the tractor.
Oh, I wasn't no guy, I don't know about a tractor. We didn't have no tractor those days.
Well,
Team, we had a team.
Is
team
that
of
right?
horses. But we did have that little gasoline engine, and I had to sign up to get a gallon of gas.
how long would it run it though? It'd run it pretty good
Yeah.
while, a gallon.
Yeah, well, sort of like a lawnmower. You know.
Yeah.
yeah, I know up there that had some cotton pickers in the John Fisher house before we moved over there. Well, there's a bunch of Mexicans in there, and they left a bunch of stamps, you know. We had to sign up for sugar and everything. And I found 2 or 3 stamps for sugar. No, I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, a gift from heaven.
But of course, you know, we had to buy flour, and of course we had our meal made
There was,
most of the time.
where was there a meal? I mean, a
Well,
We had John Underwood had a
grist mill.
grist mill, grind the corn.
And I think we took some at the Seminole time or two, and used just a feed crusher. We have made meal on that. Of course, if it was coarse, we'd have to sift out the coarse. And that would be good for the chickens, and we'd use the fine. But we had to make meal that way. And,
and you usually had your meat,
oh, yeah.
raised your hogs and your cattle.
We'd hardly ever kill the beef because until we got us a pressure cooker, well, we canned beef then in cans. They use cans all the time, the canning. Well, we just take a beef and can it up. And after we got that house, was building on that house over there, that cement block house, you know, on our place over there. Well, that is before you was born, of course.
Is that the one you have the cement blocks from out here? Okay.
Anyhow, our hogs run off, and Daddy and Vi, maybe one of the other kids or two, they found them. Well, they was bringing them back, and they got so hot, some of them died.
Oh my God.
Well, they just cut their throats, you see, whenever it's so hot that way. Well, we canned up the meat. They just, of course, from getting too hot.
Yeah.
Early at morning, sometimes it's awful hot, you know, right early at morning.
And
We
they'd
didn't
eat
get back when it got so hot. We just lay down and die.
You'd have to butcher them right there.
Yeah, and so we canned the meat. And
You didn't cook it at all first, or did you?
oh yeah, we cooked it, you know, and pack it in the cans.
How did you seal a can?
Well, we had a regular sealer,
Oh.
and
Sealer out.
You know, nowadays in the mall, it's so neat to go and buy something and have them put it in ever see that in
Well,
now.
Ivy still got her bicycle, we sold ours in the garage sale. It is rusted and everything. But,
Probably still use it.
Huh?
She probably still use it.
well, if she could get the cans, she would. She said she'd love to have it. Well, and you take that beef and get it salted and peppered and everything just right and open it up. Well,
When you take them cans out of the,
Cooker,
out of the cooker, you had to put them in cold water to squeeze it good, you know.
get cold water today.
Suck the lids and everything.
Well, I don't know, it's just
Cool them quicker.
cool 'em off
That
quicker.
meat, they say it's better to cool it quick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
the
can
corn
see
the
how
same way.
they
We
hot in there.
take it out and put it in the tank. Put it in a sack and throw it out in the tank.
Hmm.
Cool it.
I'll be darned. That's interesting. Reminds me of the time I fell in and floating around in the tank. Just threw me out in the tank. And Geneva caught her fish.
Jay saved your life.
Yeah.
And I didn't know nothing about it. I was in the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he brought her in, brought you in and told me about what had happened.
I was floating in a big coat. I had a big
Yeah.
coat on.
James Underwood gave Connie and give you some clothes or his, and you had it on, and I guess that's what saved you. It hadn't soaked up enough water to go down.
When Geneva was catching that fish. How old was I, do you suppose?
So you just,
A year or so?
just walking good.
Oh, that's,
Oh, did you ever learn to swim?
Oh, yeah. I had to dive. I could dive and then swim good, see? Of course, I finally got where I could swim, but start in with it, I had to dive to swim. I dive and then I swim good.
I was raised up on a right close to a creek, but I never did learn how to swim.
never did. And y'all always told us to not go get in the water until we learned how to swim, right?
There wasn't no danger here.
I
Don't
know,
get in the water
but
till
we
you
had
learn.
that tank, you know, out at the old house, but we never went swimming that much in it.
Well,
It wasn't too clean, I know, but.
no, it wasn't too clean. It was kind of dangerous to let you, that old, get hung up in that old grass. Then you had to be particular about the stock. You could get all that mud stuff stirred up. Well, there you was.
Oh, is that why we couldn't go swimming?
That's
I
the
remember
whole
one
lot of
time
reason.
going, that you let everybody else go swimming, I think besides me. I guess I'd had my swim when I was a year old, that was enough.
Well, that's the reason because you get that water all stirred up.
Yeah.
Well, it caused the float pan to get stuck where it wouldn't go through.
Oh,
And
that makes sense. And Jay built 2 canoes. We used to go canoeing occasionally on the tank. Remember those 10 canoes?
oh yeah, we'd go over to Hackberry
Yeah.
and
I think Lee built them.
yeah.
Oh, Lee did, I knew Jay
Yeah,
had.
well, he helped them.
Uh-huh.
Anyhow, he had I guess.
Except on the jump ball or whatever.
And
What are they made out of?
just a
About 12 foot 10, you know.
and then
Oh,
put
this
boards in the end, you know,
Yeah.
for
Cover them up, made them sort of like a boat.
Yeah.
And I think, didn't they have tar or something black on them to seal them?
Yeah, I made
Yeah, where-
Around the ends?
Yeah.
Something to keep them
Yeah.
breathing.
Yeah. And they worked.
Yeah, probably pretty hard to keep, turn the right direction, hard to get out of the water once you sunk them.
We didn't sink them. I don't know. You know, we'd go picnic over at Hackberry Lake.
Over I've been swimming in Hackberry.
Yeah. Now it's all dried up, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I went swimming in there and just come out as black as ace of spades.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I had that
Probably
long.
stagnant water,
Mud,
mud.
I don't, we didn't go swimming.
We, happened so that one time we went picnicking over there, had them things too, Jay used them. But, there's a boat over there, and we got out in that.
I remember something about
And
getting out.
somebody else come over there and said that is their boat or something, we had to give it up.
Yeah. And that's where Nola Fisher's, family is buried, right?
Yeah, on there, Shackleton
Yeah.
Cemetery. Did you ever went down to that?
Yeah, I've been down there.
Yeah, I believe y'all took us down there once.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Joe and I did. Let's see, what else this says? Something about Moore County at Dumas, and in my first year of school, his older brother and him just had one pair of shoes. And he wore them one day, and the older brother wore them the next day. And one of them stayed at home one day, and then the other.
Yeah.
You remember that? Okay, you're talking about Daddy, or who?
Yeah, that's
Fred.
Fred,
You
yeah,
and
Fred and Fred, Betty. That's the way they went to school.
Had to switch out so you could wear shoes. Otherwise, you went barefooted.
How long did you go to school?
How long did it go to school?
How many years, yeah?
I quit when I was in 8th grade. I don't know how many years.
That's about,
School years weren't like what we have nowadays. You went,
oh,
you might have been older and be in the 8th grade.
oh,
Because
yeah,
you went when you could, right?
yeah.
And when did, huh?
2 years, eh?
No, when you could. You went when
Oh.
you could. I mean, the years, like now we go a certain number of, a certain,
Like age 17, 18
Yeah.
or something.
well, I'm trying to think of the, you know, you go certain months in the year, and whereas you had to probably stop and do farming or do things as they came
Yeah,
up.
they picked cotton
Yeah.
like we did. I remember going to school one whole term.
Uh-huh.
And the rest of the time, we pick cotton up until Christmas and then go to school.
6 months is all we ever went.
Oh, it was. See, now we go 9 months out of the year, and
That's all 6 months school.
And, Lord, you got your lessons, you stayed in, or and you had plenty of homework to do too.
really,
You had to keep your, I know when, there in Oklahoma, I was just doing real good. With math, I was just doing real good in the 3rd grade. And I come out here and I never did do good like that.
yeah.
It just seemed like it's,
They were a little bit ahead, maybe. You know, kids today still have that problem. If they're born or raised in another, like in Oklahoma, and they come here, seems like we're a little bit beyond what they were doing, and they can't seem to catch up so many times. What did you tell us one time, Geneva and I, about y'all having the flu real bad, and several of you nearly dying from the flu?
oh, that was in, 18. And,
1918?
And Daddy him and Agnes had it first. And they just began to kind of get up. One morning, Daddy was still in bed, and he went to calling us, telling us to get up. Well, I don't feel like getting up. There's 5 of us at one time. Well, I didn't feel like getting up. Mama and Joe was the only one that was able to get up that morning. And that was, and I was in bed over 2 weeks. They didn't think I was going to make it.
And it was just the flu?
Yeah, just that old
Yeah, that's
bad.
bad. They had it over in, among the soldiers over in Germany. That's when they was fighting over there.
That's reading
That's,
Daddy.
that's one reason why I didn't get to go to the army. They put it off on account of food.
Oh,
One call.
yeah. Goodness. Was it, what, the diarrhea or the
No,
chest?
you just, I don't know what, his chest, I guess, a whole lot, because I know, oh, Mama, she had the doctor out there, you know, of course, doctor, I forget his church, I believe his name, and there at Colorado, Clayton, and, so he says, well, Minnie, he says, I was going to tell you, he says, you just keep lemons, and you boil them on the stove and give them that lemon juice. And that's what we had to take.
Is that Clayton, New Mexico?
No.
Oklahoma.
Clayton, Oklahoma.
So finally got over it, and I know Daddy, just right after I got up, able to get around, well, Daddy had a fish trap, and he just brought a whole half a sack full of fish, and catfish, you know. They weren't too big, but anyhow, they was fish. And so he fixed them, and them dressed fish are heavy,
Yeah.
because I began to get where I could eat, you know.
Yeah.
And boy, they were
down to practically nothing, I guess. How old were you, would you say?
Well, I was
1918?
about,
You were born when?
1907.
11 years old.
11 years old.
And then after that, well, Daddy and Mother came to West Texas. Well, they left us down there with Agnes and went to school, finished the school year. And she came, brought us to
How did
Texas
she do that?
on a train.
Oh,
I got to ride a train
oh, how exciting.
from Clayton, Oklahoma to,
Living?
Colorado City.
Oh,
And so that's when Daddy was living on Uncle Harold's place, one of his places, all not out far away from it. Well, we had to move in then to Westbrook, and we moved down there where Sib and them live now on Granddad's place, and that's where we started school.
okay, Agnes is the oldest. How much older is she than you?
Oh, that's Ivy. That's
Ivy and George, she did about 5.
Agnes and Ivy and George and,
It's about right at 2 years difference in that
I
one.
see. And then who's after you?
Jewel.
And Lily and Lorna?
Dead.
Lily, and then Terrell, that's the one that
Passed away.
passed away.
Oh,
And,
And Lily.
Terrell.
yeah,
He was, how old was
well,
he?
he was just about, I think 18 months old. He was just beginning to walk good. And Ivy and him, it was just before Christmas. They just had, Mama was cooking for Christmas. And Ivy was playing with him under the table, playing, and he was running around, and then he got sick. And, I don't know really what was wrong. That's, as Ivy told me, I was talking the other day, and that's when I found back there in Oklahoma, you get the water out of the graves, put the coffin in.
Oh,
I don't want none of that.
yeah. Well, did y'all have more, you had more children, didn't you? Didn't you have 2 others that,
Me?
that you miscarried or something?
I just miscarried one.
Where would that have been, in between who?
Yeah, I remember. It's long.
Oh, okay, I just was thinking about that.
We all about ready to wrap this up, we're about to run out of light here.
Okay, that is in the time, Joe.
I feel like we covered a
We might
lot.
have cut it off a long time ago.
Well, y'all, after we dead and gone, y'all can say that.
come in and be seated only about 5 to 10 minutes away, okay? So don't be patient, just bear with us for just a few minutes while these people come in and get seated, then we'll get started. Right? You cannot hear me? Can you hear me now? Alright, let's try that again. We're going to have about 5 to 10 minutes delay here while these people that are coming in to come in so that they can be seated so that we can get this thing started in just a few minutes. Okay? Thank you. extend a warm West Texas welcome to all of you this afternoon on the continuation of Pioneer Day. Pioneer Day started this morning at 9 o'clock on the one-way street behind the high school with a 2-mile and 10K run, and there were a lot of runners participating, and that turned out to be a great activity. We have a lot of entertainment planned for you this afternoon. There's programs scattered throughout the seats. We're going to start off this afternoon with the Fun Bunch Rhythm Airs from the Senior Citizen Center across the way here, and the Victory Singers from the First Baptist Church. I would like to extend my appreciation to Charlie Russell with regard to the run this morning and all of his workers, and to Sue Craig and Ross Hartsfield for putting together an excellent program with these two groups. And we'll proceed with their program and give them a nice round of applause before they even start, because they're well worth it. Thank you.
with some recognitions of people who have lived here in years past. We want everyone to be ready to participate, and our next two songs will sort of set the mood for this. you guess what we're going to talk about? That's who's lived here the longest. Let's look at a few years back down the lane, and I know you all have been talking about when you lived here and when you came here. Is there anyone that came here before 1905? Well, that's a good year to start with. Anybody that came here before the year of 1910? Please stand up and come up to the mic and tell us who you are. There's a mic right here in the aisle between the seats.
Is it open tonight? Is it open tonight?
Just a minute, Mr. Bonoski. Somebody will help you. Did everyone hear that? Fred Bonoski. Came here in 1906. Someone else. Let's come right on down through the years. Coming on down from 1906, 1910, 11, 12. When I hit your year, Jim, go to the microphone and tell us. Pat, you're there. You and Jim get to the microphone.
I was born here in 1911.
And you've been here ever since. Oh, okay. Tell them what your name is, Pat. Everyone doesn't know.
Pat Wright.
Pat Wright.
Jim Underwood, born March 24, 1911. I've been here all that time. That's just a short period. I'm Bill Fidel, born here in 1912, raised in Woodburn.
Very good.
Arthur Underwood, I was born here, but I don't know. I been here in 1970. And I lived here up until I was about 21 years old. I now live in Burbank, California.
Arthur Underwood.
My baby is before me. I'm T. Howe. I was born here in 1960. I was gone from here for a few years one time.
Okay. Small. Okay, we skipped a few years in there. Is anybody, do we need to go back and pick up anyone? That would be 1960. 16, I'm sorry. 16. Got that wrong, didn't I? Coming right on down through the years.
All the old folks are through. I'm not sure when I was born in 1914. I'm a mile north here and I'm still here. Oh, that.
All right. Okay, does anybody else need to catch up? Now we're going from 16 back to 14 now. Do we need to catch up with anyone else and go forward from 16 coming on up? How about the ladies? We haven't, you don't have to tell us how old you are. Just tell us when you came. If you are qualified, all right. If you don't, that's good too. Okay. There are some families who had generations that have lived here, and 2 or 3 of them have been identified. How about someone else? Would you like to identify your family as having the 4 or 5 generations? Okay, please do.
I'm Virginia Williams my daddy came here in 1906 with them. And mother came here with her family in 1924. Then they were married in Andrews County in 1925. So that makes up to 5 generations we have in Andrews County at this time. My brother Jackie has a new granddaughter, excuse me, and she makes up our 5th generation. Still living in Andrews.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you, Charlie. HD?
Well, my name is Ed Turner, and I'm on that train as the oldest imposter here. I married the first baby home with him.
Very good. HD? H.D. Price came here in 1926, and there are 4 generations of their family living here. Same?
Sonny Tom, we came in 1944, and I was born in 1925, and there's 4 generations here.
Sonny Tom. His family came in 1924, he was born in 1925, and they have 4 generations living here. Very good. Anyone else? We're going to, all right.
I'm Bill Austin. My grandparents came here in 1924. We have 3 generations here.
Yes?
I came here in July 1929, and I've had a picture made right lately of 4 Nixons, all males, and 3 of them were born in Andrews County.
Good. Martha?
I'm Martha Page, and my father's sister and parents are Mrs. W.A. Harris, and he first came here in 1916, and they lived in Shasta Lake in covered wagons. And then they were married here in 1924. They had 10 children, and 8 of us are here today, and they have 4 generations living here in Andrews.
My folks came here in 1930. We have 4th generation living here in Andrews.
Very good. Keep over. 4 generations living in Andrews. Gene?
I'm Gene Irwin, and my grandfather and my father and my son, and I got 2 grandchildren. It makes 5 generations, Irwin. 3 of them still living here.
All right. 5 generations of the Irwin family living here, okay?
Slim Mathis. I came here in 1906 with my folks. We came in a covered wagon. We came from Williamson County. And we stayed here till we about starved out and left. We left here in 1912 in September. Dad's going to take us back and give us a little education, but we never did get it. And I was gone 32 years. I come back here in 44. I've been living right out west of town here. A little over 40 years. Thank you.
All right, we're going to continue our program. The next recognition category will be the recognition of the oldest lady and man. Now, ladies, you're going to have to cooperate with us. We're going to find out who has that honor, and we hope that our next songs will set the mood for that. Anyone here that is 95? All right, ladies, everyone here want to claim that honor? All right, let's come on down the years. How about 90? No one in the 90 group? All right, let's come on down to the 88-year-old group. Stand up, Slim. Don't be bashful, it's something to be proud of. Consider the alternative. My goodness, there's no comparison. 87. 86. All right. 85.
Jake Snyder.
Jake Snyder. Davis. Davis. Snyder. What did we get to? 85? 84. All right. Russell Johnson. 83. Come on, don't be bashful. Right. 82. Yes, Mr. Umberson. Thank you. 81. Marching right on down the years. Right. Yes, sir. Sir? Wilma Wilson? 81. Help me keep track. I don't want to miss anyone. Violet McConkey? 81? 82. I'm sorry. And I saw Mabel Mize in the back pop up. But I didn't, she sat down before the time to say something. Okay. All right, down to 80. Mr. Bonoski. And you back here. Right. That's W.L. Lewis, in case you all couldn't see back there. Yes, Mr. Bonoski. 70, you're definitely in the minority. Rufus Andrews, 76 years old. He isn't present because he's in the hospital. Okay. Well, I believe that we've talked enough about that. We're just so happy to have all of you here. We're proud of every one of you that have made the effort to come out today. So we'll continue our program now. Whoa, this next is a special song, the Senior Citizens song, and this takes in everybody that's over 55.
Emergency phone call for Elwin Howell. If you'll step to the back, please. Thank you.
We're going to wrap up our program this afternoon with a gospel music medley. And when we sing, if you feel like it, we'd be happy to have you join in with us.